Hi everybody, Nathan here from FBAempire.com, and welcome to episode 4 of FBA Empire Weekly. This week I'm coming to you from Chiang Mai, Thailand, and this week's episode is all about setting up your Amazon ads. Basically, we're going to talk about how to set up a campaign, perfect campaign for beginners. So before we get into that though, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Isaac. And Isaac's been a member with us for a while now. He's probably got some of the worst luck I've seen when it comes to getting your private label company up and running off the ground. However, if you know Isaac, you'll know that he is probably one of the most positive people you'll meet, and he also has sort of this drive and perseverance that will get him far in life. No matter what obstacle he had, no matter what hurdle he had to go over, he saw it as an opportunity, and that's key. It's key to any kind of success, but especially success with private labeling and Amazon FBA. His mindset is inspirational, and I'm really happy to see that he's finally got his inventory in Amazon. There he is, right there with his inventory. And so he's got it in Amazon now, he's up and running, and it's honestly very inspirational, and just wanted to give a shout out to you, Isaac. Awesome job. Keep up the great work. So for this week's episode, like I said, we're going to be talking Amazon ads. Basically, we've been getting a lot of questions on how do I set up my ads? How long do I run my auto campaign? How much should my budget be? What should my bids be? So I really wanted to address all of that today. And we're going to start with basically the process that I would use to set up the ads. So when launching a new product, the first thing I do is I go in and I set up an auto ad campaign. And what this does is this will allow you to get the keywords. So it'll allow you to understand what people are looking for to find your product. It'll allow you to see how much they're spending or the cost per click, how much that's converting into sales. So it's really good information. So I will typically run the auto campaign for at least a week at full budget. And while that's running, I will typically run a keyword research report. My favorite is Keyword Inspector. It's like $5 to $10 for some credits, and you can put in your competitors, basically your competitors' ASIN. And what'll happen is they'll show you every single keyword that competitor is ranking for. So it is a great way to sort of see what your competitors are ranking and get an idea of the keywords in your industry. So again, so after that first week, you have your keywords now from your keyword research, you have them from the auto campaign, and you're ready to start creating some manual campaigns. And this is where the power is. If you just leave your auto campaign running, you're not going to see that much success with your ads. You really need to set up some manual campaigns. So one strategy that I recommend using, it's a fairly simple one and it has a pretty good success rate, is to set up one manual campaign, and inside that campaign have 3 different ad groups. You'd have a phrase ad group, you would have an exact ad group, and you'd have a broad ad group. All right? And those are all geared up to the different match types that you can set. So make sure you set the proper match type for each ad group. And the reason I make those ad groups instead of campaigns is as you launch more products down the road, you'll begin to see that having a ton of campaigns is very difficult to manage. So this way you just have one campaign for each product, and it just keeps things simple as you move forward and you expand your FBA business. So you may be wondering, well, what do I do with these manual ad groups now that I have them? So what you want to do is you want to take that keyword research, whether it's from your auto keyword report or it's from your keyword research you got from Keyword Inspector, and you're going to take the best keywords and you're going to put them into each of those ad groups. So the same keywords are going to be going into your broad, your phrase, and your exact ad groups. Don't worry, this isn't going to triple your cost for ads. One click on one of the keywords isn't going to triple the budget or anything like that. They'll all sort of compete, and you'll figure out which ones actually do the best. So you might see that, for one keyword, the broad does best, and the exact isn't as good. So you can adjust your bids accordingly, and you could really optimize your ads that way. So take all your keywords and put the exact same keywords in the exact, the phrase, and the broad ad groups. And then from there, you're going to set your bids accordingly. So you want to set your bids for the broad at about $1. So your average default bid should be $1. For the phrase, you're looking at about $1.50. And for the exact campaign, I would recommend $2 to start. Again, these are just the default bids, and this is just a start. You'll adjust once you get more data. So I would wait a week, another week, week and a half, see what kind of data comes in, see what your cost per click is for these different keywords, and I would go in and I would change the bid manually for each ad group and each keyword in that ad group. I typically like to do it about 20 to 30 cents above the cost per click that you've been having. So say, for example, in that exact ad group, which we put the default bid at $2, say you have keyword, say resistance bands, and its only cost per click lately has been $1.20. So I would go in and I would change that bid to $1.30 or $1.40, $1.50. Still stay above that cost per click, but try to close the gap. And you keep doing this, and you'll start to see that you'll start spending less, but you're still getting more clicks, and you're going to find that sweet spot where you get a ton of clicks and a ton of conversions, and you're not spending a ton of money on it. So you just keep doing that, all right? And at the same time, you're going to want to lower your budget on your auto campaign. So once you have the manual campaigns up and running, take your auto campaign and lower that budget. I typically put it to $5 to $10. If you notice that your auto campaign is converting really well, then you could jump up the budget on it. That's fine as long as it's converting. But in my experience, the auto campaigns don't convert that well. All right, so just a quick overview of that. Again, you're having a manual campaign, 3 ad groups in it: a manual broad, a manual phrase, and a manual exact. The same keywords go in all 3 ad groups, and you set the bids accordingly, with the broad being the least costing, basically. You're going to put the less bid on the broad and the higher bid on the exact. And that's because the exact tends to have a higher conversion rate. Those are targeted people that are looking for that specific keyword, so you're going to see a higher conversion rate on that, which is why you want to have a higher bid, and you'll see a higher cost per click typically with exact compared to broad. All right, so that's basically a quick setup. There's other strategies for setting up your ad campaigns, but that is one of them. I have found that it works fairly well, and to be honest, it converts. It's very simple to set up because you're not trying to keep different keywords into different ad groups. There's not much thinking to it, that sort of thing. It's fairly easy to set up. So it's definitely recommended, especially for beginners who are just starting out. All right? So that's this episode, episode 4 of FBA Empire Weekly. If you guys have questions, leave them below. We'll try to get to them. Or if you have ideas for future videos, again, send us an email at nathan@fbaempire.com, and we'll get those questions and we'll make videos for them in the coming weeks. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see you next Thursday.